Hey, welcome back to 6-6 Builds. I am your host, John. And today we're gonna be working on a 2009 Duramax. It's a crew cab long bed dually. If you haven't seen the videos that I did before, we just got done putting in an oil cooler in this thing. We pulled the oil cooler out, rebuilt it, put it back in successfully, got that thing all fixed up, fixed that leak. And there's also an introduction video. So if you guys wanna check those videos out or whatever, I'll try to figure out how to get them in here for you guys to see. Today, we're gonna be doing a Pcv reroute. I'm gonna go over some of the stuff that we have for it, and I'm also gonna go over some of the reasons why we're doing it. So I went over to Truckmaster's website and I grabbed a resonator plug and a PCV plug. We've got our PCV crankcase breathers here. These are just fittings for the breathers that we're going to be putting in. And I went ahead and got 10 AN hose. You don't need this hose. You can run just regular rubber hose. And I got obviously some clamps there. But the reason I'm doing this is because in a later video, we're gonna be doing all the loom over in the truck again. I had some of this laying around and I was gonna go in there and be like, okay, cool, we'll re-loom the truck, but there's loom that looks like this. So that was literally the only reason why I got the 10 AN was because I wanted my loom and these hoses to kind of blend in together under the hood. I didn't want them to stick out like a sore thumb. So this is some of the stuff you're gonna need. This is all the stuff you're gonna need. You're just gonna need the 2 plugs, you're gonna need your fittings, you're gonna need some hose. Let's get into it. Oh, this thing's a beast to get in there. Yep. Yeah, it looks good. He's tight, boys. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this resonator box here. I got a T30, the bit is a T30. And that will take out this stud here. And then in the back, there's a hose clamp. Just undo that hose clamp. And it's just that easy. That thing's gone. Now we're gonna install this resonator cap, which will go here to plug off that hole there. You can get this on Truckmaster's website. That's where I got them. He has an entire PCV reroute kit. I did mine all separately because I wanted the 10 AN lines, but you can just go there and get the whole kit. He's got the whole kit sitting there. If I can open it. All right, with this kit, this plug here, you'll get a rubber O-ring, and it fits right there in the groove. You can see the groove. You just put that rubber O-ring in the groove, put this on here, plugged, all done. All right, we're halfway there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove my air box, get this air box out of the way, and then we can see this side of our PCV. This tube right here is what we're gonna be taking out of here. This is what's coming out, is this tube. And then there'll be another plug going in right here. The air box is pretty self-explanatory. I will say, loosen this really well because it can be deceiving and you won't be able to get this air box out of here. Now that we have the air box out, I'm going to show you guys where on this valve cover, where that 10mm bolt is, you got to get out to get this side of the PCV route off. If you look down here, this is the one you got to get out. So you just got to pull this 10mm out, and then this whole tube on this side is free, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Don't pay any attention to this, because I've been doing some rerouting of my cooler because I had an issue with my EGR cooler. We'll talk more about that later. You can reach down in there with a little wobble socket or a universal. Just break it free and pull it out by hand the rest of the way, you know, so you don't lose your bolt. Because you will use those same bolts to put in the billet PCV fittings from PPE. Okay, so we got the passenger side free. Now we're gonna get the driver side free, and I'm gonna show you where that's at now. So you have your two harnesses here. Mine, they just been flopping around in here because apparently one of the clips must have broke at some point. So that will be something we're addressing later when we do the loom. But if you look back here, this is your PCV here. All you gotta do is follow this down, and you'll see the nut right down in there, right at the end of my finger. So you just pull that nut out too. That's a 10mm too. A super handy tool to have is one of these magnets. So when you loosen that bolt down there, it's gonna be super tight. Mine, I don't know if everyone's is gonna be the same, but mine has a piece of my harness going by it, and it's super tight to get in there. So I can't really get my fingers on that bolt to pull it out, but I got it all the way loosened, so now I'm just gonna yank it out with this magnet. Just like that. And when you put it back together, you can put that bolt back in with the magnet. You can actually turn it a little bit to get it started. All right, we got both sides free. Now, all we have to do is come here, and there's a clamp right here. You just gotta get this clamp off, and she's out. Just be careful because there's a sensor right there, and if you grab that sensor, the wires are super thin. You're gonna be in trouble. So squeeze that clamp and pull up at the same time, because you're not gonna be able to pull it up over the fitting. There she is, boys. No more oil going into the turbo. I'll explain. If you didn't know why we're doing this, I'll give you a little bit of it. So on both sides where we disconnected from the valve cover, that is to relieve crankcase pressure, which means that if there's pressure in the crankcase is full of oil. And so it's gonna press that pressure up through the block into the valve cover. And these engines generate enough pressure to not just push air through there to release the crankcase pressure, but along with it comes oil. And that oil travels through that valve cover into this fitting on your mouthpiece for your turbo, and it comes from this side and feeds in there. And what that ends up doing is feeding this turbo oil, and it's not good. Number one, it'll blow the bearings out of that thing. Number two, those turbines get full of oil. Number three, your veins in your turbo, there's a bunch of veins in there. I don't know how many there are, I haven't looked to see, but in the back of your turbo, there's a whole bunch of veins, and they position and turn. And when those vanes get caked with oil, they can no longer do their job and turn. They're supposed to open and close to release pressure based on what the engine is doing. And once those vanes get stuck open or stuck closed, now that turbo isn't operating the way that it's supposed to. And now you're gonna have horsepower loss. You're gonna have all types of problems. You're gonna have breathing through the turbo, all jacked up, and it's gonna cause all types of the wrong type of pressure in that turbo. It's detonation. I mean, I wanna say a stock replacement's probably like $1,800. You can go get like an RDS or Dan's Diesel or whatever, and I mean, you're looking at $2,500 for a decent turbo. Plus, if you don't know how to do it, which we'll be doing one later, and I'll show you, but if you don't know how to do it, like if you were to take it in and say, hey man, my turbo detonated, that causes not only damage to the turbo, but you could have damage to the intercooler, you could have damage internally, metal particles could be going through your system. It is not good. So, to avoid all of that, we're going to be rerouting the PCV crankcase pressure out of here and down along the frame back there and down along the frame back there. So there's no longer oil getting poured into this turbo mouthpiece. And I'm gonna give you a little close-up. You can see the oil right now sitting on the fitting for the PCV there. This is where those fittings ran to, was here. This goes into your turbo mouthpiece. See the oil in there. When I pulled off my hot pipe, when I was doing my oil cooler, that thing was caked with oil in there. It's not good. And I had an issue with my vanes being stuck on those super cold mornings, and I believe it's because those vanes are caked with oil in there. So I was talking about that oil. Look at that. It is caked with oil in there. That is no good. And the turbo trying to have a disco party. Okay, so now just like we plugged our resonator in that kit from Truckmaster, you'll get a plug and an O-ring that goes on the plug to plug your PCV here. So we're gonna throw that O-ring on there. These are nice billet cut pieces here too. All right, boys. So when you get your kit, you can buy these PCV reroute kits, or you can buy these hoses separate like I did. Man, this thing's tough. This AN stuff is no joke. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna stretch out your line the best you can. Well, you're supposed to get 10 foot, and that's what we ordered, but it just doesn't look like it's 10 foot. I might be wrong, I don't know. Anyway, all you're gonna wanna do is put your ends together, run this thing down, and find your center and split it. If you choose to be bougie like me and you use 10 AN, then you're gonna wanna tape the line before you cut it because it will fray. And we're gonna try these, you've seen it here first. We're gonna try to cut this line with these Kami Milwaukee cutters and see if it works. Because if not, I think we're gonna have to cut this thing with the zoom machine over there, and we'll see what this thing does. We'll see if this will cut it though. Oh, look at that. Look at that, boys. All right, we got it. So now that I've cut it, we got our tape on there, so this won't fray and come apart. Also, I'm going to assemble, if I can open it. I'm going to assemble our line. So the rubber O-ring there goes into the valve cover. This end up here gets your hose. See if we can get this on there or not. Might have to persuade it. I do like that these fit super tight though. I don't know if it's too tight though. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's going. Oh no, maybe not. I got an idea. Little Sill Glide. So I like to use Sill Glide on a lot of different applications. This is for, I don't know, I believe it's for just brakes or whatever, but I like to use this stuff even when I'm assembling gaskets, O-rings, anything like that on an engine, because this stuff will burn off. It won't cake up. It won't do any of that. But it'll allow you to hold O-rings in place, gaskets in place. I mean, you don't want to cake it up on there, right? But you just want like a little tacky surface to be able to use it. And it also helps with, like, if you watch the oil cooler video we did, it helped with seating the oil cooler back in the block because it had a rubber O-ring on it. It helped with seating the cooler tube that goes from the oil cooler to the water pump. So this stuff I like to use on a lot of different stuff, man, and it'll make your life easier. Let's see if it'll make this easier. Come on, get in your home. Go home. Send it. See what I'm saying? It ain't all the way on though. Here, I keep going. Almost there. Oh, I got a cramp. Boom. Got it on there. All right. We got it on there. Seated on there nice. Now, as you can tell, obviously your bolt's going to go through here. So you're not going to want to put the clamping side of this hose clamp up here in the way of where the bolt's got to go. So I think that it works easier this way to put the hose on now because it's super tight in there. So now all I got to do is fit this down in there and put the bolt in, and that side's done. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, I don't think we got 10 feet. I mean, I think we got like 8 feet of hose, which is kind of, but we'll use what we got and see how we can go from there. Let's go. All right, so from the look of this, I'm trying to figure out how I want to route it. And I don't want like hoses all over the place or whatever. So coming from the back side of the hot pipe, I think is going to be the best. So it's out of the way, it's under the hot pipe, it's not like all up in your face, and then running it down to the frame. I mean, in theory, it sounds good, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. So, audible, change of plans. I didn't have enough room to get the new line in there. So now I believe instead of going under the hot pipe like I wanted to, we're probably gonna go over it. It can be adjusted later. We just want it to function for now. So I'm gonna do that for now. If I can possibly move it, I'll make an update on the video and let you guys know. Okay, now that we've got this side locked in, we've got our fitting into the valve cover, we got our bolt in there. When you put your bolt in there, these are aluminum, so you do not want to drive them with an impact or a ratchet or like an electric ratchet or air ratchet. Just tighten them in by hand, snug them up, and then let's go to this side we'll get this thing back together and I'll roll this thing outside and I'll show you how I'm gonna run this down the frame rails. All right. So once you get both sides laid over, what you're gonna make sure that you do not want to do, you don't want these routed, obviously touching any of your exhaust, the manifolds, up pipes, down pipes, none of that. And you want to keep it away from moving parts. So keep it away from, I don't know why you'd be by your control arms, but keep it away from your control arms, keep it away from your steering shaft, keep it away from moving parts. So that way they are secure, they are not gonna get damaged, they're not gonna get holes in them, they're not gonna get ripped, they're not gonna cause issues with anything else. Now all we wanna do is get these things mounted to the frame. All right, so we got the air cleaners back on. We're gonna pull this thing outside and we're gonna secure those new hoses down to the frame rail. But something else that happens to your Duramax when you do this is I'm told that it may sound different. So you may be able to hear the turbo better. I have no idea. Honestly, I bet you could probably not even really tell. But we're gonna test it out. I'm gonna set the camera up. But we're gonna test it out. I'm gonna let you guys take a listen to it. See if you hear anything different. I don't even know if this is worth recording, but we're gonna do it anyway, and then see what we got. I'll be able to tell you myself. Obviously, I'm here. It's hard to tell this stuff over video. I know a lot of guys show this and they record it and they play the sound, and it's like, you know, was that a sugar pill? Like, what just happened? Right? So, like, I have no idea. I'll be honest with you guys and I'll tell you. If it sounds different, I'll let you guys know. But, yeah, let's start this thing up and see what we got. Oh, disclaimer. If you have headphones on, my belt is squeaking, and we'll be taking care of that in the next video. But watch your ears, because I don't know what this is going to sound like. All right, fellas, that's gonna be a wrap for this video. I'm gonna end the video by showing you how I secured those to the frame. It's super simple. Run them down the firewall as close as you can, away from anything hot or anything moving. And then I found harnesses or brake lines that are under there, and I just secured those in there, and I'll show them to you here in a second. But I want to say thank you to everyone, because I took a chance of starting this channel, man. Like, I didn't think, I don't know. I had no idea what was going to happen with it. We did our first video and we had 12 subs, and I don't know where it's at now, but like every day it's growing. And the last time I looked, I think we had 80 subs, 80 in 2 videos. So dude, thank you guys for coming, hanging out, learning, watching, whatever you guys are doing. I appreciate it. And thank you for what you guys do, man. If you enjoyed what I did here and you guys like what we're doing here on the channel, dude, please sub for me, man. Hit the subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. It lets more people find my videos. It's super cool. Who knows, man? I mean, we got 2 videos out. We got 80 subs. Like, I'm stoked about that. I mean, who knows? Maybe we can grow a really cool community here and start doing real life stuff. Like, I think that would be super dope. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. Thank you for subbing. Hit the like button. I will link everything that, I used or whatever was going on in this video down below. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome, man. Peace out. All right. So you can see here, we got our fitting in there. The line comes up, runs down. I got it tucked behind the brake master there, and it runs down along the firewall, and I'll show you where that one connects. All right, you can see here, this is our line right here. See how tight it is to the firewall? It comes down, and all I did was secure right here to this brake line. And I'm not gonna show you guys the other side. I did the same exact thing on the other side. But yeah, that's it, man. And then thank you guys. I appreciate you. See you on the next one.